everyone, welcome back or welcome to the channel. I'm T. Today I'm going to be doing a sew along of the Simplicity 2232, and this pattern is from the Khaliah Ali collection, and I'm doing this for the BHM Pattern Designers Challenge. This challenge is hosted by Natieda and Myra Lorraine, and I'll put all their information in the description box below, as well as the hashtag that is associated with this challenge, so you can go over on Instagram and see all the lovely makes that people are making for this challenge. And seriously, they are amazing. So please go over on Instagram, check these two ladies out, and look at the beautiful garments that people are making for this challenge. So I am an ambassador for this challenge, and I wanted to make several different versions of this, several different versions of dresses for this challenge. So I wanted to do, initially I wanted to do view A and also view B, but I quickly found out that I didn't like the sleeves for view B, and I'll tell you about that here in a minute. But let me just tell you about the pattern itself and some of the characteristics in the pattern. So number one, it has cup sizes, which I really love. You can select your own cup size, and I selected the C cup because that cup size really fits me nicely. And for that cup size, I chose a size 16, and the finished measurements for that is a 42 inches for the bust. And the reason why I selected that is because I want to do some layering with the dress. So I wanted to have a little bit of extra room so that I can actually put something underneath the dress. The pattern comes with 4 different views. So view A and B, you have your dress. So view A is a really long dress. As you can see here, it's basically a dress that falls down at the ankle. View B is a knee-length dress. You have your sleeves and some ruffles around the neckline. View C is a jacket, and view D is a pair of pants. So initially, like I said, I wanted to do version A and also version B, but I quickly found out that I don't like the sleeves of version B, and that's because the sleeves, the sleeve head rest in the middle of the shoulder on the garment, and I do not like that. I'm so used to having my sleeve head at the very end of the shoulder, you know, where the shoulder point is, and it just felt really awkward when I did the mock-up. I really did not like it at all. So I decided to just go ahead and do this sleeveless version. I might make a few different dresses with different prints for this, and like I said, I'll just layer them or either wear a bolo with them. It has, for the dress, it has 2 tabs on the back of the dress. If you decide to do the sleeve version has some gathering down at the bottom of the sleeve, and then for the jacket it has a cuff, and again you still have that option to put the tabs on the back of all 3. So it's a really cool pattern. It's unfortunately not in circulation right now, so it is an out of print. You will have to purchase this on eBay, Etsy, or Amazon. I purchased my copy on eBay, and it was only like $6. So it was very, for me, it was very inexpensive. And I have seen a few others out there that were around the same price point. So if this is something that you want to purchase, I'm sure you can get a copy. So for the fabric, this fabric is a fabric that is sponsored by Minerva Crafts, and I'm really grateful for that. It's a cotton fabric. It's 100% cotton, and it's a poplin fabric. It's really, really nice and really beautiful. It's a pink fabric that has a floral design, and as you can see, the design is repeated. So the flowers are repeated throughout the entire fabric, and you have different colors in the piece. So you have magenta, so the flowers are magenta. You have some flowers that are orange, and then you have some stems that are teal, And I really like these earth tone colors as well. I think that kind of balances the print out, and I really like that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to working with this piece. I already washed it, and as you can tell, the colors are just still so very, very bright, vibrant. And to be honest with you, it didn't lose any color. It's just a really gorgeous piece, and I'm looking forward to working with that. I have 3 yards of this fabric, and for dress A, as you can see here, it's a 60-inch wide fabric, and it calls for 3 yards for my size. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this project, and I will come back in and update you on my progress after I complete the bodice portion of it. I'll show you what it looks like and where I'm going to go from there. I want to go ahead and give you some more details about the pattern and also any alterations or adjustments that I may or may not have made. Let's start with the size. So the size that I chose, as I stated in the beginning, I chose the size 16, and I chose a C cup. So the measurement for this listed on the tissue paper is 42 inches for the bust. It doesn't have any measurements listed for the waist, but I would say that it's about 32 and a half for the waist, and I'm going by, you know, my own measurements. The skirt was shortened by 4 inches, approximately 4 inches. There was some issue with gaping, and I'm going to need to go back and fix that some more because I do like this pattern and I want to do this pattern again. So I'm definitely going to go back and fix that gaping armhole. There are 15 given pieces for view A. However, I omitted the pockets, the pocket facings, and the tabs because I just didn't want to include those. The pattern also calls for 9 buttons, and I purchased my buttons from Tabitha Sewer's online shop. I also did a review of these buttons over on Sewing Bloggers. I'll put all that information in the description box below so you can go over and check out the review and also look at the buttons online. Hi everyone, I'm back with another update. So as you can see, I completed the bodice. I do need to attach the facing on the front and also the neckline of the bodice. And I also need to sew on the armhole facing as well, or the armhole binding. I completed the skirt, and I'm going to push the camera back here in a minute so you can see, but I finished the skirt. I also serged the inside of the skirt, the raw edges of the skirt, as well as the bodice. And I did that even though this fabric does not fray. So I am so amazed at how well this poplin cotton fabric has held up. Seriously, it's been a while since I've used a cotton fabric that does not fray at all. But I still went ahead and serged all of the raw edges so that, you know, over time it can last longer. And I'll show you what the serge seams look like. Also, I attach the facing piece to the skirt, but like I said, I still need to attach the facings to the bodice of the garment. And I'm going to go ahead and show you some of those details here, and I'm going to show you how well the fabric has held up and how it's not fraying. So here we are. This is the armhole area, and as you can see, it's just not fraying at all. And I even have, you know, snips here, and you know, usually when you cut and you make cuts and you make snips or whatever, clips into the fabric, it starts to fray if it is a fabric that's prone to fraying. But as you can see here, not much fraying at all. So I really think that this garment is going to last for some time. It is quite lightweight, and you can see through it a little bit. So I may need to wear a slip underneath of it. If I knew that that was the case, I would have made a underskirt for it. But I'm not going to worry about that. I'll just wear a slip under it. Let me show you the seams here so I can show you what I'm talking about. So yeah, like I said, I just serged the inside of the seams. And normally I would open these up so that they lay flat, because that's the proper way to do it. But I just made sure that I gave it a really good press. And because this fabric is so lightweight, I'm not really worrying about that. So yeah, this is coming along, and I'm hoping to have this done sometime today so that I can post this video for you all next week. And I'll show you the inside of the skirt real quickly. Okay, so here we are. Here is the skirt here, as you can see, and it just has a facing on it. So this is the facing. I just labeled it so that I know which way is the top and which way is the bottom. And I sewed it, I attached it at 5/8 7-inch seam allowance. And as you can see, the pattern calls for interfacing as well, because you're going to be putting buttons on here, or in buttonholes. So basically that just goes flipped on the inside just like that, to give it some structure and some stability for the buttonholes. And yeah, so that's basically where I'm at with this project. And as I mentioned before, the inside of the skirt, I was able to serge that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work on this. And okay, everyone, I am back with my final thoughts and review of this Simplicity 2232 pattern, and also the Minerva fabric. So first, let's start with the Simplicity pattern. This pattern by Khaliah Ali is amazing. I cannot believe that I did not know of the collection of patterns that Khaliah Ali had out prior to this year. Oh my goodness, she has so many different patterns that are out. Most of them are out of print, but if you can find them on eBay or Etsy, I would completely recommend that you try to get a copy, because this pattern is amazing. So let's start with the features that it has. So this pattern features both a sleeveless and sleeve dress. So you can do a dress with or without sleeves. And the version that I did view A, which is the sleeveless option with the long skirt. So the skirt falls right around the ankle area. I did have to shorten mine by, I think, about 4 inches. And so that is something that you want to be aware of if you are short like me. So I'm 4'11", so I had to take off about 4.5 inches. So this pattern also features this really nice V-neck, which you all know I am a fan of V-necks because they open up my neck, and you can see more of my neck. So I really like that. For the sleeveless option, it has a armhole facing. The pattern comes with the armhole facing that you can attach to the garment so that you can clean up those raw edges. The bodice part of the garment has princess seams in the front as well as on the back. So you're going to have a side front and a side back panel for your bodice, as well as a back pattern piece. The back pattern piece is cut on fold, and your front pattern piece is cut out twice. So you can have your left and your right side, and you can have that overlap for your buttons. It also has a facing. So if I'll open it up so you can see here. So it has a facing on the inside here that you're going to sew onto the bodice. And so the pattern calls for interfacing as well, so that you can put onto that facing piece, so you can provide stability and structure to the front of the garment for the buttonholes and the buttons. The skirt of the garment comes in 4 with 4 pattern pieces. However, you're going to have 7 panels. So 3 of those pattern pieces are cut out twice and 1 is cut on fold. So the pattern that is cut on fold is your back pattern piece. So that back pattern piece is, like I said, cut on fold, and then all the other patterns you're just basically sewing each piece together to get your full skirt, and then you sew that to your back pattern piece that's cut on fold. Your skirt also has a facing with interfacing in it as well. The dress falls at the ankle, around the ankle, and the hem, it calls for a 1 1/4 inch hem, but I never do a wide hem like that. Well, I shouldn't say never. I rarely do a 1 1/4 inch hem. I like 5/8 of an inch hem or smaller. So I usually do a 5/8 of an inch hem. So I took that into consideration when I cut the bottom of my dress. I didn't cut the bottom of my dress. I actually made the correction on my pattern piece. So I cut the 4 inches off of my pattern piece, not my dress, because I didn't want to waste my fabric. So I did take that into consideration. So all in all, I really love this garment. It fits beautifully. The only issue I had was with the armhole. It does gape a little bit, and I think that was partly due to my own miscalculations. I did take some of that out. It was gaping even more so than this. I need to go back and redo this and make sure that I fix that. So other than that, I think the dress is really beautiful. I love it. The buttons, I purchased these buttons from Tabitha Sewer. I also did a review of these buttons. You can find that review on the Sewing Blogger's website. I'll make sure that I put all the information regarding the buttons, the fabric, the pattern, all of that will be in the description box below. Fabric. So let me give you my review of the fabric. This fabric is a cotton poplin fabric that was sponsored to me by Minerva Craft. I really love the fabric. It's really soft. It has a really soft hand to it. It wrinkles quite a bit, but that's what you get with cotton. I already knew that going in. However, it doesn't wrinkle as much as what I had expected. So that's really nice. Also, I think I mentioned this in the earlier part of the video as well. I really like the colors here. They really complement one another, and I like how the aqua buttons really stand out against the rest of the garments. Like at first I thought that these buttons would get lost in all this detail and the design of the fabric, but I think the buttons make a really great addition to the dress. Let's see. Oh, the fabric, as I mentioned before, is poplin cotton, and it's really soft. It's lightweight, and I really like that because in the spring here in the United States where I'm at, in the spring, it's usually relatively cold still, and so this is why I wanted to make this type of dress, because I can layer it. I can put something underneath, or I can put a sweater on top. And the fact that this fabric is lightweight is a bonus, because I can layer the garment without having so much bulk, and I can also I won't be so hot. So I really like the fact that it's lightweight. I have some options with this, and I'm really happy and pleased with the choices that I've made. I am going to make a few more dresses with this pattern, but first I want to go ahead and correct the gaping armhole before I cut out my pattern. So that's what I'm going to be doing this week. And then also I am going to round up all of my BHM pattern designers makes. And after I round them all up, I'll do one more video, and hopefully you'll see that video next week, and you'll see all the different makes and things that I made for the BHM Pattern Designers Challenge. I had so much fun. I'm grateful for Natieda and for Myra for thinking of me this year and allowing me to be an ambassador for this challenge. It's been so fun, and it's been just an enjoyable experience. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. And I think that's it for this video. If you have any questions or comments or anything that you like to leave with me in the comment section below, please do so. And I hope to see you all next week. And until then, my friends, stay creative.